Today I attempted the Pokemon Gym Leader Thief Challenge. My name's Joey, and this is today's challenge. My community on Twitch challenged me this time to complete a hardcore Nuzlocke on SoulSilver, only using a team filled with the Gym Leader's Pokemon. Now, my standard rules are above as usual here. Rules of having a full Pokemon team with the Gym Leader's Pokemon is quite simple. I verse all the Gym Leaders in order, and I steal one of their Pokemon to form an army of an unstoppable force to verse the Elite Four and the Champion with. So every gym leader in Generation 2 has a pretty neat and different array of typings here, and even some who are considered as Elite Four material Pokemon. The way that they've ordered the typings for each following gym leader is pretty neat also. So I thought that this would challenge my skills on who exactly I would choose and who I would consider for the Elite Four and the Champion towards the end, have our last 6 Pokemon, and away we go with them. But I won't give it away now, so what I'm thinking is I'd rather just take you all through the journey and we can find out together who we can thief off the gym leaders and who the final 6 are to win in the Pokemon Thief Challenge. Now, my only rule that I'm gonna break here, so to speak, is choosing a starter so we can officially get this underway. I choose Totodile and I name it Spotty. Heading west to Cherry Grove City, north towards Route 30, we find the old men discussing some important matters here, so we grab the egg, we head back outside. We receive a call from Professor Elm to quickly come back to the lab, and on the way there, we met with our rival himself. Scratching the stolen Chikorita to death, we move onward back to the Professor's lab. We hand over the information to the policeman and tell him our rival's name is Rob. You get it, guys? Rob, like thief, rob, thief, robbing, thief, like the Pokemon challenge. Good one, boss. Heading all the way back to Cherry Grove, head north again past Route 31, and eventually we hit Violet City. Let's go straight to the Sprout Tower and clean house until we hit the very end where the rival is. Defeating all the bold men in here, we can finally verse and take our first official Pokemon of the run. Now, Faulkner has a Pidgey and a Pidgeotto, so it's a clear no-brainer on which one to choose. The way that the game is set up is that I've got 100% catch rate on, and in turn, it ends the battle if it's the last Pokemon standing. We name the Pidgeotto GB, and away we go. Securing the first gym badge, let's head south towards Route 32. We'll eventually hit the PC Center, and after that, the Union Cave. Traversing out the cave, we're just outside of Azalea Town now. We see a Team Rocket grunt bullying this poor old man. Wah, wah.
I read about...
Head to the northwesternmost house here and talk to another old guy. Heading back to where we came in, we're going down to the well to help poor old the old man who fell down and broke his back. Defeat all the Team Rocket guys in here, and we're pretty much free to verse the second gym leader already. Now, the only problem you're gonna have with this early in the game is the level caps. I'm confident you can do this without having to dodge too many trainers along the way, but just be wary at this stage particularly. GB is already at level 17 at this stage. So, the next gym leader is Bugsy, who has a Metapod, Kimono, and a Scyther. Come on guys, you gotta be a sucker to pass up on coolest Pokemon in Generation 1, Metapod. No, of course, I mean the Scyther. Since Bugsy starts off with the Scyther, this is the one we're gonna catch, and after we name a bird, much to my surprise here, the fight ended. Maybe catching his ace, he calls a timeout and he goes, okay, you guys win. Or maybe felt bad because he had a Metapod and a Kakuna waiting, but nonetheless, the Scyther is ours and we can prepare for the rival fight coming up just west of Azalea Town. So this is the first test of our newly stolen Pokemon versus our rival. Rob starts off with Ghastly and I send out GB. I hit the Gust on him and he uses Spite. The second Gust puts him away and he sends out a Zubat. Another Gust and I get hit with a Bite. The Gust puts him in the yellow and he uses Supersonic this time round. Getting hit with the Confusion, I get hit with a Bite. Another Confusion and another Bite, and I'm down to 13 HP. I have to swap over to Bird and another Bite comes out. Finishing it off with a Quick Attack, his Bayleaf comes out to play. I start off by using Focus Energy and she hits me with a Poison Powder. Using Quick Attack this time, I get the crit and I put it over half HP. Another Quick Attack and he starts using Synthesis. A massive U-turn here puts him back in the yellow and he starts to stall by using Synthesis again. Since GB knows Roost, I start doing the same thing. A few turns go by and I hit 2 Gusts. It's pretty much just back and forth now until I finally get the opportunity to gust him to death after using Reflect. Heading west to Elex Forest, we complete the far-fetched puzzle and make our way through the other end of the forest, finding ourselves out to Route 34. At this stage, my mon are looking at being pretty close to the level cap, which is 19 here, so make sure you avoid as many trainers as you can to stay within the level cap here. Head north to Goldenrod City and find Whitney at the radio tower. After completing the quiz, she'll run off back to the gym and we can follow her in order to steal the next Pokemon. So we start off with GB hitting the standard gusts and getting hit by double slap. Another gust and she uses Mimic. One more gust puts her in the red and she uses Dragon Pulse from her metronome. Look how surprised I am here. After she heals, the Gust Frenzy starts again until she uses Metronome to hit a Brick Break. I don't take any risks here and I use Roost. After her final Gust, I hit the last one and she's finally down. If you guys didn't pick up what I'm doing, obviously, we're taking the hard wall of Pokemon, Whitney's Miltank.
Don't touch it!
So we name it Dollop? Dollop misspelling? Ah well. Head north to Route 35 and make your way towards the National Park. Don't forget though, we need the squirt bottle beforehand so we can wake up the Sudowoodo. Do what you want with it guys. I caught him because A, he's ASAP Stick, the mascot of the channel, and B, he's my HM slave in this game. Head northwest to Ecruteak City and go towards the Burn Tower northwest also. Got another rival fight coming up, so let's hop to it. He starts off with Ghastly and I send in Dollop. Seeing as it's got Scrappy, I can hit Ghost-type Pokemon here, so I use Stomp and he's almost defeated already. He gets hit with a flinch and we stomp him to death. Bayleaf is out now and I start using Rollout this time round. The first one hits with a crit and he misses with the Poison Powder. The second one goes off and he uses Synthesis. The third Rollout does some okay damage here and he starts to use Reflect. The fourth one puts him in the yellow and the Poison Powder connects this time. The last Rollout takes out the Bayleaf and now the Magnemite comes out. I start to use Rollout again, living my Whitney dream. He uses Supersonic and it misses. The poison tick damages keep going here, but my Rollout doesn't. I get hit by a Sonic Boom this time round, and I'm left with 21 HP after the poison. I use Milk Drink and he hits the Supersonic on me this time. I swap out to Bird and his Sonic Boom connects. I start to use Wing Attack here and it does some okay damage here. And I get hit with the Thunder Shock and of course along the way, I get paralyzed. Look, see how impressed I am? Another Thunder Shock comes out and I get paralyzed afterwards. Yep, of course I do. One more Thunder Shock and another paralysis. What an absolute joke this is. I swap over to Dollop and I eat up another Thunder Shock. A Stomp gets used and he uses Supersonic. Seeing as I'm down to 20 HP, I'm banking on him to use Sonic Boom and I swap over to GB. It actually misses here, but I start using Gust. A critical hit puts him in the red and he misses the following turn also. I use Twister and I get another crit here. Finally, some luck Joey's way. The Zubat's out last and I keep gusting away. He misses yet again to make up with the bullshit beforehand and I finally win the battle. That Magnemite really put a spanner in the works, and seeing as I don't really have the traditional gym fights, I think the rival fights are really accounting for it here. So let's over to Morty now and nab our fourth badge. He's got a pretty cookie cutter team with Ghastly, 2 Haunters and his Gengar, so I mean what's not to take here? He kicks off with his Ghastly and I send out Dollop. I've now learned Body Slam and I immediately put him down. He sends out his first Haunter and I almost one-shot him, uses Hypnosis and it doesn't go off here. Morty heals and I almost one-shot him again, but this time I've paralyzed him. Another slam, another death. Morty sends out the Gengar now and due to the Thief challenge and how it is, gym battle is done now. Yoink!
Yoink!
We name it Griffles, and we're pretty much halfway there now with this run. So straight away, I head back to Goldenrod City and I do some Gamba! I got some advice from a trustworthy source that I had to keep going until I got my Thunderbolt.
Keep gaming.
What?
It means gambling. Keep gambling.
Now I can progress with the story. Head over to the dance theater and defeat the Team Rocket Goon here. By the way, why is he here? Maybe he's a Rocket Gooner. Hey, you get it, guys? Skibbity. From here, head west to Route 38. We find the Miltank's Moo farm before Whitney stole her for her own gain as a gym leader, real story, heading south to Olivine City. Let's go to the lighthouse first to help Jasmine find a potion to help her sick Amphi. Poor Amphi. 5 gifted subs on Twitch. Once that's all done, let's head southwest and surf across the seas to eventually hit Cianwood Town. Head to the shop here to obtain the secret potion, and now we can take on the next gym leader, Chuck. Now, I actually had to do some thinking here because I was tossing up between grabbing his primate or the Poliwrath. This was the first decision that I really had to sit and be like, I could take this or I could take this one. It's the first one of the run. I decided on the primate just because of its raw power, and later on, it'll be more useful. So I yoink him.
Yoink!
And I name it Hitmonchan. Obtaining Fly now, we head back over to Ekritique City. Instead of giving Jasmine the potion, let's progress through the story first. Head east to Route 42 and the hiker will give us strength. Surf across more east until we hit Mahogany Town. We want to go north towards the Lake of Rage, where Australians here can be hit with the nostalgic music channel reference. And after we see the shiny Gyarados and run from it, we head back to the shore and we talk to Lance. Hey man, sure, let's go help you with your Team Rocket troubles. I'm the nice guy. Heading back to Mahogany Town, we go to the totally cool, legit shop of wares and head to the basement. Blitzing through Team Rocket, we end up at Executive Petrol, who's got the Murkrow. Follow it until we verse Ariana Grande, and we've paired up with Lance, who's got the level 40 Dragonite, by the way, totally legit. Explode the electrodes, and now we can finally verse the next gym leader in the non-traditional order here, Price. Now, usually we've been picking off all the gym leaders' aces here, but here's another of the lot where we're actually not going to. Price has a Seal, a Dugong, and a Piloswine. I decided to go with the Dugong this time because it's not as slow and its stats are quite decent overall. If this was a Mamoswine, however, totally different story. So we take it from him and we name the Dugong Duo. Okie doke. Now let's over to the lighthouse finally and give Jasmine her potion. Let's meet up with her at the gym so we can yoink her Pokemon also. Before I get into it, let me just say this, man. I would have loved to yoink the Ampharos, but she doesn't even use it for her gym or even for the rematch either, because it's stuck doing its job illuminating the lighthouse. So look, I guess I'll have to settle for a Steel Magnemite. Now, the reasoning on this choice is because Magneton is a sick Steel Electric typing, which covers my needs for the Elite Four. Steelix is just a bit too bulky and slow, and he'll get one hit, I think, so we capture her Magnemite and we name it Hitchcock. So this is the first of the Pokemon where I've had to replace someone now. Pidgeotto has done its job and I can bring in Magneton for the slot of the team. Without having to think about this too much right now, I have to save Goldenrod City from the pesky Team Rocket Gooners. Head to the underground tunnel and grab our snazzy outfit. Head over to the radio tower and our rival snitches on us. What a dick. Defeat all the coughing and wheezing gang from the top of the tower and head over to the underground warehouse to find the director. Before I head on down, my alter ego Gambler comes out and I nab a few more TMs, so I grab Ice Beam and I use Dig from earlier for Primate. When you're ready, head over to the underground again, where we're prepping for yet another rival fight. Rob is here, ready to infiltrate our infiltration. He starts off with a Golbat. I start off with Griffles, and I hit the Thunderbolt. One shot, it goes down. Sneasel comes out, and I swap over to Hitmonchan, and I know it'll use Feint Attack here, so after the second, I use Dig, and it does half damage. Another Feint Attack, and I use Rock Slide to finish him off. Meganium comes out, and I swap over to Bird, and he uses Petal Dance. Doesn't do too much damage at all, and I start to use Focus Energy. The second Petal Dance comes out, and we're eating them up nicely here. So once I use the Wing Attack, and I call for the crit. Come on, crit him! Oh! Down he goes. Magnemite is out, and I swap over to Griffles. Thunder Wave is used, and follows up with the Supersonic. I hit myself in the following turn, and he uses Spark. Trying to power through, I do so, and I use Shadow Ball. Another Spark from Magnemite, and I snap out of confusion to down him. Haunter is out now, and I swap over to Dollop. Shadow Ball does zilch here, and I use Zen Headbutt, which almost kills him. He flinches though, so I just use Body Slam to finish it off. Rob has gone down once again. A very solid match, actually. Getting past the puzzle, we keep heading downward until we find the director. Grabbing the key now, we can access the different area of the radio tower. Making your way towards the top to verse Archer here, use Duo to surf our troubles away. After we've restored the town, we obtain the Silver Wing. Now we can finally head east from Mahogany Town. Make your way through the ice path and picking up some important items along the way. Gonna end up at Blackthorn Town. We can pretty much prepare for the next and last yoink of the run, 8th Gym Leader, Clair. Now, with my favorite gym leader in this generation, and I feel like this is another no-brainer, trainer of a choosing will breeze past this as quick as we can. She opens with Gyarados and I start off with Griffles. One Thunderbolt and she's gone. Her first Dragonair comes out and I use Shadow Ball to put her on half health. She uses Thunder Wave and follows up with a Dragon Pulse. This time I couldn't get the Shadow Ball off and I get paralyzed. I swap over to Duo and it's the Dragonair with Fire Blast. There's actually close to no damage here, I'm pretty surprised, and I use Ice Beam. Almost one-shotting, she uses Thunder Wave and heals on the next turn. I actually get a high roll here and the fight is pretty much over at this stage. The Kingdra comes out and I yoink him, and for this next reference, it's going to be incredibly obscure. Unless you're Australian and watch trashy TV like I do, we name it John Aitken. Plan ahead for the next steps, and it's actually befitting because the way that I've stolen the Pokemon throughout this run, it can only be described in one way and one way only.
This is toxic, inappropriate, and unacceptable behaviour.
Heading north to the Dragon Cave, we finally get our badge from Clair and we head back to Professor Elm upon his request. He tells us to demolish the Kimono girls in Ecruteak before taking on the big boy Lugia, so that's what we go do. Now, this is a very difficult part of the run. I have to still treat this like the hardcore Nuzlocke run it is. Having 5 consecutive matches versus each Evolution is a challenge within itself. Evolution challenge, interesting. The first one up is Umbreon. I start off with Bird and I use X-Scissor. He hits me with a Confuse Ray and I swap over to Hitmonchan. After using Shadow Ball, I hit the Cross Chop to finish him off. The next one up is Espeon. He uses Psychic and I hit him with the X-Scissor. One shot and he's dead. Flareon's up next and I swap over to John. His Fire Blast misses while my Hydro Pump hits. What an absolute machine. The next one up is Jolteon, which I think is always the most troublesome one here. I swap over to Hitchcock and his Thunderbolt does some okay damage. He uses Double Team and my Thunder Wave misses. Another Double Team and he uses Volt Absorb, which I actually thought it was pretty bad by me, so rookie mistake. His Thunderbolt goes off and I swap over to using Sonic Boom, which misses. Another Double Team and another Sonic Boom miss. After I get hit with the Thunder Wave, I swap over to Griffles because he can use Last Resort now. He uses Double Team instead, and another Double Team afterwards, and Griffles hits the Shadow Ball. He's max evasiveness now, and I miss the next attack. He pivots over to using Thunderbolt, and my Shadow Ball connects, winning the fight. What a champion. Lastly is the Vaporeon, and I swap over to Duo. He eats up the Surf and uses Quick Attack on the next turn. I decide to leave him in and trade blows until I get the freeze on the Vaporeon, and I end up using Rest, and he thaws out straight away. Talk about luck, easy come, easy go. He ends up using Last Resort, and I'm snoozing still. I end up swapping over to Griffles and hitting the Thunderbolt to finish off the Kimono girls once and for all. Beautifully anticipated. This was a one-shot actually. I head over to the Whirl Islands and I witness their ritualistic dance in order to celebrate one of the coolest legendaries, Lugia. Heading back to Professor Elm, it's time to take on the Pokemon League. Heading east of here, we hit Tojo Falls and we make our way through the path, plowing our way through the trainers, and eventually hit Victory Road in itself. Now, this part is actually difficult too, because I had to use a couple of different HM slaves in my party, and I eventually versed the rival coming up at the end of the cave, 4 potential Pokemon, so be wary on this. He starts off using Sneasel, and I have Hitchcock in the front line. He uses Feint Attack, and I use Thunderbolt. Almost downing him in one, another Feint Attack comes out, and I finish him off. He sends out Golbat, and I uses Confuse Ray. Hitchcock powers through, and I run through him. Meganium comes out and uses Reflect. I get hit by the confusion this time and he starts using Pedal Dance. I use Thunder Wave this time round and another Pedal Dance comes out after I hit him with the Sonic Boom and he's now confused. I swap over to Duo and he gets confused on this next turn. I use Ice Beam and I almost kill him. He uses Pedal Dance this time and it leaves me on 4 HP. My heart absolutely sinks here and I put him down in the ground. His Magneton comes out and I swap over to John. He uses Spark and I start using Surf. He hits the Thunder Wave and he starts to use Spark on me. The Surf goes off and the Magneton goes down. His Haunter is out now and he uses Confuse Ray too. John actually powers through the confusion and the paralysis and he surfs him down to 1 HP. Massive roller coaster of emotions right now. He uses Shadow Ball and my Citrus Berry goes off. Unfortunately, I couldn't beat off the confusion and I get hit with another Shadow Ball. On the following turn, I actually power through it, but I get hit with the paralysis. Talk about those roller coaster of emotions, hey? I end up swapping over to Griffles to get hit with a nasty Shadow Ball, and I put him away. I'm worried now that his Kadabra will be faster, but I think I was thinking about the speed level on what an Alakazam has, and Griffles being the absolute Giga Chad that he is, he goes first, and we're now done with the rival once and for all. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time once again where we're approaching the end game and all of our hard-earned yoinking has led up to this moment here. Will I be able to beat Johto using 6 of the gym leader's Pokemon? Let's go through our last preparations and you'll all see if I do it or not. Spoiler, I do. Okay, so with my current rules and the overall rule of if I can obtain it legally in the game, I can get it. I evolve my Scyther into a Scizor, and my next order of business is obtaining a move just for my Magneton. That move, ladies and gentlemen, is Flash Cannon. Now, I doubt that I'm going to be using this, but it's just nice to have the best Steel-type move in the game here. Every Tuesday, we're allowed to do some gambling to obtain this through Goldenrod City Counter Lady, and you just have to pay $300 of your hard-earned cash, and you'll either get the prize number 3, which are berries, and these are good, by the way, for getting for the Elite Four. Prize number 2 for some repeat balls, and the Grand Master of the prize of them all, TM91 Flash Cannon. The only kicker to this is that we have to try and win it on a Tuesday, so luckily guys, today is a recording day on Tuesday, and we get it. But that's pretty much it. So basically, don't forget your family-friendly drugs, ethers, elixirs, full restores for healing in between, and I'll run through the movesets on each Pokemon that we rightfully stole from each different gym leader now. Morty's Gengar with Sludge Bomb from the guard in the Lake of Rage, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt from Coins, and Dark Pulse. Price's Dugong with Surf, Ice Shard, Ice Beam, and Rest. Bugsy's now Scizor with Metal Claw, Quick Attack, X-Scizor, and Night Slash. Clair's Kingdra with Ice Beam from Coins, Surf, Hyper Beam, and Dragon Pulse from Clair. Chuck's Primeape with Dig from National Park, Focus Punch from Coins, Substitute from Goldenrod, and Rock Slide. Jasmine's Magneton with Thunderbolt from Coins, Screech, Flash Cannon, and Thunder Wave. Get ready to play your heart out, guys. Let's go to work. First up is Will, who specializes in Psychic Pokemon. I use Thunderbolt on his Xatu, and down it goes. Jigs comes out, and I swap over to using Shadow Ball. Slowbro comes out now, and I do the same. He goes down too. Will's Ace Xatu comes out, and we use Thunderbolt with a crit also. And the clean sweep is here, guys, because Griffles puts Exeggutor down, and went 1 for 4 already. Easy stuff. Koga is up next, and he starts off with his Ariados. And before the match, I actually swap out Dig for Earthquake here, and I start off using Hitmonchan. The Earthquake puts it on half HP, and he uses Poison Jab. It actually poisons me also, and I follow up with another Earthquake. Securing the kill with a crit, he sends out his Crobat. I swap over to Hitchcock, and he uses Wing Attack. Another Wing Attack, and I use Thunderbolt to one-shot him. Forretress comes out, and I use Thunderbolt for sheer force. Big damage from Hitchcock, and he uses Toxic Spikes. After the heal, I use another Thunderbolt. Next turn, he doesn't go for the heal now, or the Protect, or the Explosion, I just finish him off. It's a bit out of my plans actually here, but the Venomoth comes out, and he uses Supersonic. I hit myself with the Confusion, and he uses Psychic, and I hit myself yet again. Of course it does. I swap over to Bird and he uses Psychic. I start using Metal Claw and I've hit him with an absolute heater of a crit. You're the man, Bird. I mean, you're the bird, Bird. Muck comes out and I use another Metal Claw to put him over half health. After using Minimize, he gets a bit of a heal from the Black Sludge and I use Quick Attack. I don't want him to heal here and I think he's out of range now, so I use Metal Claw and he's down in the ground also. 3 fights to go. Wasting no time, I verse Bruno. I start off with Griffles and he brings out the Hitmontop. I use Sludge Bomb and he uses Dig. It doesn't affect me obviously, so I just go for another Sludge Bomb to down him. He brings out Hitmonlee and I use Sludge Bomb again. He uses Swagger this time and I swap over to John. He uses Focus Energy and I surf him down. Onyx comes out and Onyx goes out. His Ace Marchamp is out now and I contemplate swapping over to Griffles because of the revenge. He uses Cross Chop and I use Sludge Bomb, which does more than half, so it's all going well so far. The Berry procs and he uses Rock Slide. I go for another Sludge Bomb in hopes for the max damage, and I get a crit instead, and he's been the absolute MVP here, Griffles. What a guy. A real Hitmonchan comes out now, and I swap over to John. Ice Punch is used, and it doesn't do too much damage. I use Surf and it does more than halfway. Thunder Punch is pivoted and Surf washes away the third Elite Four member, so let's keep it going, guys. Heading over to Karen, who uses Dark Pokemon. She uses Umbreon first, and I start with Hitmonchan. I use Substitute, and she uses Feint Attack. I'm free to use Focus Punch here, and she uses a Double Team, and I miss. She's trying to tech me now, and I'm hopefully just getting a Focus Punch off. A few turns go by, and I finally hit one, fainting him. Murkrow comes out, and I'm still in Substitute, so I'm free to use Rock Slide here. He goes down 2, and the Gengar comes out. I go for another Rock Slide, and this time it connects, and it does less than half HP. Of course he's using Focus Blast, and it connects also, much like every single run of mine beforehand. Much like now, the 70% accuracy chance Focus Punch goes off. Yeah! I use Substitute until I can't do it no more. After hitting a Spite, I get the Substitute off. And yep, the Focus Blast goes off, of course, hitting me and getting me out of the Substitute. My Rock Slide puts him in the red, and I swap over to Griffles as I know the heal is coming out. I hit the Shadow Ball here to kill it. Houndoom is out now, and I swap over to John. He hits a Dark Pulse, and I hit him with the Surf. Left with 1 HP, I proc his Berry, and he uses Nasty Plot. Just out of the healing range, I get the kill off, and she brings out the Vileplume. I stay in for the Ice Beam, and it does 2/3 damage here. She uses Stun Spore, and beforehand, I chucked on a Cherry Berry, and one more Ice Beam secures the win for me. All those berries that we got beforehand, by the way, coming in clutch now. And then that's what we're gonna do for the very last fight here as well. I chuck on all my last Cherry Berries here, and now we're here to eliminate Mr. Lance Vance for one more dance. The Dragon Master now is met with the Australian Hardcore Nuzlocke Challenge Master. That's me. We're here now. Let's get to it. He starts off with the Gyarados, and I start off with the MVP Griffles. One Thunderbolt puts him away, and Aerodactyl comes out. I'm anticipating the crunch here, and that's what he does, so I swap in Hitchcock. He gets the flinch, and then hits a nasty Rock Slide crit on me, in which my Thunderbolt kills on the next turn. Dude, I was thinking about this before, right? What is it with these Aerodactyls and actually causing so much damage and drama before they die? Crazy stuff. It's been like 3 runs that it's done it now. Anyway, his Charizard comes out and I swap over to John. He hits a Fire Fang, which doesn't do all too much, and I hit the Surf. Down in the red, he eats up a Dragon Claw, and after the heal, I Surf once again. And again for the kill here, that's 3 down. Now the main courses are here. The first Dragonite comes in and I hit an Ice Beam. It kills it straight up, and now we're down to 2. Another Ice Beam from John, and another elimination. The very last and level 50 Dragonite comes out for the sweep, and he gets him down to the red. The berry is activated, and he hits the Outrage. Our first death of the run is out, and John goes down swinging. Now, since he's in Outrage, I bring in Bird and I use Metal Claw. It unfortunately puts him in the red once again, and Bird eats up the Outrage again. He's confused now, and we've got Bird just using Metal Claw here. After the second Metal Claw, I get the attack speed, and he's missed the Outrage. Bird goes in for the final +1 attack, and, mind you, the critical hit, and once again, we are the champion of Johto. The Pokemon Thief Challenge is complete, and we've done it with an absolute banger of a team, one from each gym leader. I think this challenge in particular was a rather awesome one to do because I had to do some research before the stream itself, and wanted to thank my Twitch community for coming up with the idea. I hope you guys here on YouTube enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more weekly challenges that are different or not to the norm, please like, subscribe, and if you haven't commented or anything below, anything you'd want to see more of, please let me know here. If you do have Twitch, why don't you come over to our community at twitch.tv/asapjoey. Come hang out with us. I stream most days, and specifically for Pokemon content on the Wednesdays during the day to see how it all goes down. Usually I am streaming during the days with these. Lately I've just been really busy with some outsider projects and some conventions that's been going on here in Australia. So I've just been trying to find my time and trying to make it more easier and, I guess, streamlined. But I just wanted to say thank you again for watching, everyone. Really enjoying doing these videos and getting back into the swing of things. I noticed that we hit 100 subs lately, so I really appreciate you guys showing me love. Let's get to 200, shall we? The next challenges awaits us, and I'll see you guys there.